Welcome to January 2021. What a weird year 2020 was for sure. Today's topic for me is talk about planning exercises and goal setting. Two exercises I want to draw to your attention that I think could be helpful as you plan to navigate 2021. We have a vaccine on the horizon, huge bright light coming at us, so this is a time to plan. 2020 wasn't such a great year for some of us planners who had all our great plans set in January, February, and all of a sudden COVID came along and made sure we didn't have any of our own plans and lost control of our own planning. So let's get that back. Let's get control of our plans. So two exercises I wanted to bring to your attention. One has been on our resource center since 2017. It's an article that my wife Jennifer wrote called Planning with the End in Mind. We've had tons of great feedback on this article. Not all good. It's not for everybody. You have to have a bit of a sixth sense of your mortality to be able to go through it fairly, but it is powerful, boy, to go through it with your spouse or yourself, but to think about the end of life, and how old might you be when that happens? Where will you be living? What kind of circumstances do you want to be in at that age? And then roll it back 5 years. Where will you be at that point? Roll it back another decade, and so on until you get to current age. The process of doing that for us as a couple was powerful. It helped us really take action on a few things we've been putting off, like for example our cabin property. So it's motivated us to do things because you start to realize, wow, if we want to be there by this age, we got to get going on it now. So again, it's on the Resource Center. It's called Planning with the End in Mind, written by Jennifer. Really encourage you to take a look at it. The second tool that we want to bring to your attention, again, in the realm of planning and setting goals, is Big Rocks exercise. A lot of you have probably done this in some way, shape, or form, either as a kid in school or perhaps within a business group. But the metaphor for this is the big rock are your important goals. We have done this with families. It's super fun. You can get we have a list of all the things you would need and how to do it, but basically, bucket of water, some sand, some gravel, some little bit bigger rocks and some larger rocks, and then a bucket to hold it all in would be the tools you'd need for this exercise. And the metaphor here is, of course, in that example with the bucket and the water, if you do not put those big rocks into the bucket first, if you fill it all up with the sand and the water and the little stones and all the things that aren't important, just checking emails, just day-to-day stuff, you're not going to have room for the big rocks. The water will overflow. There's not enough time in your day or your year to accomplish those big rocks. So it's a really good example, a visual way to see why planning for the big stuff is important. And we say big stuff, it might be things like you haven't done a will in 5 or 10 years or don't have one altogether. So that's a big rock. You can plan for that, you can control that. So encourage you to think about that. It might be health related. You haven't had a physical for 5 or 10 years. Again, something super important and something you can plan for. It could be educational. It could be a course you've always said you're going to enroll to take, or a night course, or a hobby you're going to pick up. Those types of things are very important. Could be a family meeting, something you haven't done in a while. So get that done. Put those big rocks in the calendar. Figure out what has to happen to make them, get them completed, and then get them done. So the concept of the Big Rock exercise is really, again, a fun tool to help you think about really what's important to you, because 2021 will go by in a blink, and if we don't plan for the big stuff, you'll be sitting here looking at 2022 going, oh yeah, I meant to get that done and I didn't. So encourage you to look at those two exercises. Have a great 2021, and we'll talk soon.